Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm posting this match for a number of reasons. One, I saw like the level 15 Zeus, the max Inquisitor. He doesn't even have like a max Dryad. He could have a max Dryad for sure. He doesn't have like the glasses, but he does have. He doesn't even have a set bonus. He doesn't have like a light faction set bonus. He has like the spear, the amulet of weakness, which basically does nothing over the course of this game because I don't use those tiles. Like I'm playing Blooming Dash Blade Dancer, obviously. His talents aren't great. Enchant Monster isn't great. Counterspell is fine, but he's running Light Inquisitor, so that doesn't actually matter. But he has a level 15 Zeus, and that's essentially. Right? Level 15 Zeus is where it's at. That's when you get the level up tiles. But I'm posting this video for a number of reasons. A lot of people, one like minor reason is a lot of people ask me all the time because I don't like playing PvP, and so I'm always hyping up my Blooming Dash Blade Dancer deck that I've spent a lot of time on, and. People have asked me like, oh, what is like the max you can do? Like, because like I usually stay within, if I really try, I usually stay within the first legendary chest that you get right outside of 4,000, the one that everybody like rushes to, and I get that one, and then I stay basically in that realm, and I just kind of like for the whole month. So for the most part. I'll make a lot of videos with me playing PvP to basically do all my my quests, and then I just like surrender matches, and I'm able to beat people with like Wind Archer, and I can build like silly decks and basically beat everybody. At which point, the only time that I ever play Blooming Dash is basically in tournament where I'm also beating everybody. Right? So you never see like the extent of what I can do with my Blooming Dash Blade Dancer deck. I can obviously, beat co-op, but who can't beat co-op at this point? Level 13 co-op, I can co-op by myself. I can play like, what's it called? Like Floral Frenzy. I can just build up Floral Frenzy, with like level 3s and basically beat level 13 co-op. Like level 13 co-op is not really a thing. And so the only time that I would ever get to showcase like what can my deck do, is like when I decided to try to push PvP, and I'm obviously on my road to get to 6,900, and the 6,900 pick your own legendary chest, and this is part of that, and so I'm very I'm not close. But I'm up there. I'm up there in the ranks to be able to fight like an Inquisitor. I'm fighting Inquisitor all the time. I'm almost not even fighting Demon Hunter. It's just Inquisitor all the time. And so one of my reasons for wanting to post this video and showcase this gameplay, is that I like people always ask me like, oh, what can your Blade Dancer do? And this is pre-patch, by the way. Tomorrow I have to assume the patch is going to go live. It's live for iOS right now, but I have Android, and so it's probably gonna like launch tomorrow. But I've been waiting all day, and it hasn't been a thing. By the way, if you like this style of a video of me just like talking about my thoughts, join one of my lives. I never really post. I'm not popular enough to like. It would just depress me, is what I'm trying to say. I never post when I'm going to do a live because I don't feel like anybody would. I've done a couple community posts, and most people don't really care about those. And I think I do like really cool community posts, and I'm not popular enough to be like, who's gonna join my live? Click here to say that you are. Like I'm not cool enough to like. For people to, take time out of their day. And my lives just go up afterwards anyway. I leave them up for a little while. I do delete them because it starts to get a little cluttery on my page, and I'd rather just do another live as opposed to like, oh, you had so much information in your last live. Because that's when, you know, like, I accept all these questions, I read chat, and that's actually my favorite part of doing lives. Because if I don't do lives, it's just this. You're just, like, I'm just forcing you to, like, just accept my thoughts, and then that's it. But in, like, a live, like, I can do a back and forth with somebody, and, you know, like, they can, you know, say, like, oh, I want to put this in my deck. Anyway, join my lives. If you like me talking at great length, if the sound of my voice doesn't annoy you, join my lives. Whenever I'm doing a live, feel free to join, feel free to comment. I enjoy, like, talking to people. I enjoy talking to real people on here. But the other reason why I wanted to upload this video, showcase this battle, again, this is pre-patch, so Trapper is much better, and that's pretty much it. Like, Knight Statue, he obviously has Knight Statue, but it's not going to be like the talented Knight Statue. This is all pre-patch stuff, so Trapper is much better. Trapper is going to be worse. And I think, actually, I underestimated when I was talking about it originally, but I think Trapper is going to be much worse. But we'll see. I don't know. It'll be much worse, but it'll be much worse for everybody. It's equal. I don't know why people, like, think that, you know, like, when people were saying, like, oh, Knight Statue is gonna get talents, Blade Dancer, Floral Frenzy is gonna be in the meta, it's gonna be crazy, and I'm like, no, because Inquisitor is also getting Knight Statue, so, you know, everything gets Knight Statue. So, if currently a Floral Frenzy, you know, Blade Dancer Knight Statue deck isn't beating a Inquisitor Knight Statue deck, it is not going to all of a sudden beat it after the patch, because it's the same deck. You're playing the same deck, and then yours will have talents, and theirs will also have talents, and you'll still lose. So the other reason why, the real reason why I wanted to post this, and the reason why I titled my video the way I titled it, I obviously haven't titled it yet. I'm currently, like, filming this video, but I'm gonna, like, title it something to the effect of Inquisitor is so bad it needs a buff. Like, Inquisitor is so bad, like, something to that effect. Inquisitor is bad, it needs a buff. The Inquisitor nerf is real. Inquisitor sucks now. I don't know, some splashy title, something to that effect. Maybe Inquisitor sucks now. I think Inquisitor sucks now is a splashy title. And essentially the reason why I'm titling it that is because I definitely die to this Inquisitor deck. Spoiler alert. Go ahead. Fast forward this video. Do it right now. I'll wait. I die to this. I deal a large quantity of damage, which means that theoretically, if I would have, I want to say it was close. I think I can say that it was close, because if he was, like, very handily, like, winning, within that last round, like the last, like, boss round, then maybe it could be assumed that, you know, like, the only reason why he died, or the only reason why the match ended was because I died, but he could have kept going, right? Like, if he, like, just auto-killed the boss, right, on the last boss round, and he would have kept going into the next round because it was easy at that point, then I guess it could be stated that, like, Inquisitor is even better than that, because the only reason why the match ended was because I died. But on the last in the last, like, match, in the last, like, round, the last boss round, I was like, as soon as I saw it, it was like Tribunal double Warlock. It's like my worst nightmare at that, like, stage of the game. The Tribunal, obviously, but, like, double Warlock is rough. And I'm pretty sure I died there. And if I didn't die there, I died to the very next one, because I got Tribunal and double Warlocked in the previous, like, boss round. If it wasn't the last boss round. I can't remember now. But, so, you know, again, spoiler alert, it goes to triple bosses, because of course it does. at this high stage of the game, like everything that you play is gonna go to triple bosses. But I'm titling it that, like Inquisitor sucks now, or Inquisitor is awful and it needs a buff, something to that effect, because with the incoming patch, and with the incoming nerfs and buffs, and, you know, like all the things that come with every patch, right? Every time they come out with an update, all of this always happens, right? There are nerfs, there are buffs, and every single time, without fail, whenever something gets nerfed, people always say, oh my god, it's nerfed, I'm gonna quit the game, I spent so much time, like, investing into this, and now I don't even want to play it anymore because it's not even good anymore and it's so terrible, right? I don't know if I can express to you how many times Inquisitor has been nerfed. Inquisitor has been a dominant card for so long. Dark Inquisitor much more so, and that got nerfed. And people still play Dark Inquisitor Clock and they still win. Light Inquisitor has gotten nerfed, and as you'll see in this match, it still has the ability to win. I feel like there's a lot of people that see the meta deck, they see the 1 trillion Demon Hunter deck, right? The Demon Hunter deck that can do 1 trillion damage, and they think that everything else is crap. Like, oh, this card is the meta deck. This means that everything else is just dumb, and everything else is lame, and oh, my Inquisitor needs a buff because I can't beat Demon Hunter. And maybe that's true, because Demon Hunter is just overly powered, which is why it's getting nerfed. But make no mistake, Demon Hunter is still gonna beat you. Probably. Inquisitor is still gonna beat you, even though it's been nerfed. Because everything else hasn't really been buffed to the point that it's gonna beat Demon Hunter and Inquisitor. And that's not really their mission. Their mission isn't to, like, completely change the meta, right? They're not saying that, you know, Blooming Dash now gives you 10%, you know, bonus damage for every flower, right? They're not trying to make Blade Dancer into the meta. They're not saying, like, oh, whenever you sacrifice a cultist, cleanse your entire cultist board. You know, they're not buffing other things to the point where they can, like, overtake Demon Hunter and Inquisitor. That's not their goal. Their goal is to basically make everything the same, or to try to make everything the same. But everything is not the same, because everything has different damage numbers, and everything has different mechanics, and everything has different ways of interacting with other things. And there will always be a dominant deck. With numbers and how they work, that's just how it works. But that doesn't mean, like, just because there is a dominant deck, that doesn't mean that everything else is crap. And I feel like a lot of people think that way. They think that if they don't have a max Demon Hunter, then every other unit is awful. They think that, oh, like, since Demon Hunter is so good, my max Inquisitor is so bad, and it's terrible, right? And make no mistake, you'll still win. And even if your favorite card gets nerfed, it's gonna be fine. Because chances are you're probably still gonna win anyway. They've never nerfed a card to where it's no longer playable. In fact, like, when they took away Shield from Monk, everybody thought that was gonna be the end of Monk. And all of a sudden, they just recently, in this next upcoming patch, they're super buffing Monk. To the point where it's gonna be really good. And it's probably gonna go back into the meta. Bruiser is still a thing that is floating around. not a lot of people like play it because it's not like the shiny new toy, because it you know, the patch that it got like super insane in was the patch that it got talents. And then all of a sudden everybody wanted to play it. Everybody wanted to play Max, you know, Max Bruiser. And that's not to say it's bad now. It's still fine. I totally thought he was going to die here, by the way. I totally thought that was going to take him out. And it definitely doesn't. What ends up happening here is we go through a lot of like low level, low health bosses that I can very like reasonably easily take out, but it's not doing anything to affect the board because they're all like cleansable effects. So right here you have like Virus, Dark Priest, King Pudding. Those, like, neither of us care about any of those. As long as we can kill it, we're gonna cleanse our field. All he has to do is just like sacrifice a thing, and all I have to do is just move a Blade Dancer. If you're wondering why I'm not sacrificing, because I don't, why I'm not merging out these level 2, what's it called? These level 2s and these level, these level 2 trappers, why I'm not getting better trappers, and why the fact that he probably won because he had like, what is this, 2 like level 7 trappers, 2 level 1 trappers. I didn't even look at his board. I had no time. It's because my merges are really bad. I could merge into I could merge the 2 level 2s and get like a level 3 Portal Keeper, or I can get a level 3 anything. And then I will just, like, my board will be considerably worse. I'm more happy with just more trappers on the field, throwing out traps, because that's more efficient than if I merge it out and I get something useless. Like, I could merge 2 level 2s, and if it's not a level 3 trapper, everything else is basically useless. There's nothing else I would be able to do. Even if I got a Harley Quinn, I'd have to, like, I don't know, summon in. I would have a space. I would have to summon in, hope for a Dryad maybe. Dryad the level 1, merge it with the level 2, hope for a level 3. A level 3 trapper. Because if not, then I only have the 1 level 4 trapper. And essentially, these are the kinds of decisions that you have to make when you merge something this late in the game. Is it more worth it to me to attempt to get more trappers? And it just wasn't for me. Like, I didn't want to risk getting less trappers on the field. And there was nothing I can do. I didn't want to, like, merge out any of these 2 level 4 Blade Dancers, because that's so much power that I'd be losing. And at this late stage in the game, you can't really think about that. This is Tribunal Double Warlock. I'm not sure if I die here, but if I don't die here, I definitely die in the next one. All of this to say, whenever you think that your best card is being nerfed, and your best card is just no longer viable, and it's just awful or something because something else is better, something else will always be better. Because even if you have a Demon Hunter, someone else's Demon Hunter will be better than yours. Because both of your cards are at max. You know, both of your Demon Hunters are max. But he has a level 15 Zeus, and you only have like a level 5 Mermaid. Right? There will always be something better. But that doesn't inherently mean that what you have is bad. Because you will still also beat other things. And so with all of the nerfs that Inquisitor has gotten, look at this deck. Like, look how much damage this guy does. And I think right here, like, if I would have killed this boss, right, if I could have dealt as much damage as him, I think he would have died right there. And so I don't think he would have pushed much further beyond this. And we have, like, almost equivalent, like, percentage. I have 200 on him, but he also has a level 15 Zeus. But yeah. Inquisitor's still pretty good. And whatever you have that you think got nerfed and is just useless now, like how people think that Inquisitor is useless, It's not. It's gonna be fine.